Hi, everybody. It's Hazel Cartwright here. I'm the author of Single Therapy, a short singles guide. It's on Amazon, and I am live on the Jerry Royce Show.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to Jerry Royce Live on PositivePower21.org. I am the voice of Jerry Royce, and when it's all positive, it's all power. That's Positive Power 21. And today's sponsors are Queen Z Production is producing a play in Baltimore, Maryland on Saturday, July 19th called Taking It Back, written by Zenobia Sampson. General admission is $15. Contact her on Facebook.com, Zenobia Sampson. And it's in Baltimore, Maryland on 4801 Liberty Heights, 21207. The number to call is 614-214-6589, 614-214-6589. And we want to thank Pamela Samuel Young, author of Anybody's Daughter. She's also the author of Kinky Corley, a natural hair resource guide. Attorney, author, and natural hair enthusiast, Pamela shares the natural hair care practices and products online resources that took her from hair disaster to natural hair heaven. Purchase both books on her official website, PamelaSamuelsYoung.com. All right? And have you ever received a good advice that you were unable to follow? Has your doctor ever recommended a lifestyle change that you found to be unsustainable? Have you ever wanted something in your life but found you couldn't achieve it alone? Contact PurpleRoseHolisticHealth.com. Again, PurpleRoseHolisticHealth.com. They will personalize a program that will radically improve your health and happiness. Call Valerie Moore for a free initial consultation. All right. Also, we like to say hi to C.G. Farmer, author of The Adventures of Delilah Daisy, Delilah's Big Adventure. Congrats to her on her successful book tour, and she's still on tour. Also, we'd like to say thank you to Cheryl Empower Wood. That's right. Cheryl is empowering sisters, and she's the author of Power to Sizzle. It's a self-help book. And also, we'd like to say thank you to Samuel H. Morris, Jr., author of Survive. All right? Great book. Looking for a book where great friends are trying to bond and try to survive? That's a good one to read. That's a sci-fi book. Amelia Adeja, author of Accelerate Your Glory, a self-help book. Thank you, Lane Cobb. She's author of The Biggest Champion. And, of course, we got to say thank you to Bunny DeBarge for her coming on the show talking about her book that's going to be released this fall called The Kept Ones, Volume 1 and 2. This definitive story of the DeBarge family captured in 2 volumes, from their spectacular rise to the top of the R&B music royalty to their fall from grace to their re-emerging careers. And also we want to thank Firemouth. She's an erotic writer. She has a book called The Chronicles of David Hanger, all available on Amazon.com. All right, we appreciate everybody hanging in there with us tonight. We got a special guest that's coming on the show. We've been going back and forth inboxing each other, and her name is Hazel Cartwright. Let me bring her book up real quick. She has a book out called Single Therapy, a single guide. She has a book out called Emerald Eyes of the Sea, Adventures Far and Near from Where the Eyes Not Seen, and a little bit about Hazel. She had an interview that was done on WordPress, and Hazel Cartwright is 32 years old. She was born in Northern California. She lived most of her life in Gold River, California, which I'm not familiar with. Mm-hmm. And also, she's educated. She's a medical therapist. That's a professional trade. And she's been practicing for over 6 years now. She has a pet, is Alaskan Malamute. I'm very familiar with them, which she really adore. And I think she's looking to get into some other pets. The writing's kind of small. But anyway, let's bring her on the show. So how you doing, Hazel? How you feeling? Welcome to the
Hi.
podcast.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, everybody. Yes, it's Hazel. And I am interested in some Pomeranians, actually. I kind of want to, be a little more open-minded on the breed.
Yeah.
So
all right, gotcha.
we're gonna do Pomeranians next. Just maybe two.
Right.
Start with that.
Why not? All right, Hazel. So we got you on the show, and we're here to talk about you. I didn't have a whole lot to talk about as far as your bio. Where where you got your writing from. I noticed you have two different genres of books out there. But let's talk about you first. How did you first get into writing?
Oh, sure. Well, I started my writing when I was like maybe 9 or 8 years old. I got a hold of a Daniel Steele book. I know it's kind of young to get a hold of one of those, but I had a really good grandmother, and she had a really fascination, addiction, if you will, on Daniel Steele, and I got a hold of one. And I thank her, because had I not got a hold of one, I probably would have just not been a writer. I probably would have just been only a medical person or a fashion person. But when I got a hold of one of those books, and I was in my room and reading the passions, and it was all she wrote, and I was hooked. So I got a journal. I started writing in my journal. I started off doing like little skit plays for school and all that. And my teachers loved them. And, of course, I was actually against it at first. As a teenager, I rebelled. I rejected my talents. I was like, I hate writing. It sucks. It hurts. Yeah, because back then we didn't have the dragon technology that we have now. You can just speak and it comes on the computer. We had to write it on the paper. So I hated it at first. I hated it. I didn't hate writing about it. I just hated that I had to actually write it out word for word, front to back. So I hated that. Yeah. And I rebelled for a while. So, Jerry, it was tough. It was really hard. But, I grew up. I matured. And I just started at 9. And it took off probably when I was about 18. That's when I actually wrote my very first, serious kind of like rough draft paper project. And after that, I was already hooked. I went over to my grandmother's house, I don't know, like every weekend, buttering her up for all those Daniel Steele collections. Wow. She gave them to me, though. She loves me. But, yeah, once I got them, I was hooked. And romance and suspense, I don't get to see a lot of, like, action or adventure romance books when I was thinking about it. So I wanted to have a whole lot of erotic and romance in my books. But I also wanted, like, suspense and action and adventure all compiled in one book. So, that's what happened.
So that's where you are today.
Yeah, I just took off with it, Jerry. I just said, well, we're going to have a romance, suspense / adventure genre thing going.
Nothing wrong with that. Rewrite the book. Now, you got this book out, Single Therapy, so it sounds like you're really into helping couples cope with something. Now, I didn't get a chance to read your summary. I think I did read about. I may have gotten confused with all the other ones I read this weekend. But tell us a little bit about, you work your professional trade. You're a medical therapist. Is that helping you in some way with your writing ideas? The people you meet and talk to.
Actually, like a lot of states have this HIPAA thing where you kind of can't discuss a patient's medical records or anything that they're talking about in their treatment rooms or anything like that. Right. So I really just rely on my imagination, and, of course, my friends are nice, and they do get drunk, and they give me inspiration, and I take that because college years were good. I mean, my college years, I should have just started writing then and focusing right there with all the parties and all my wild friends doing whatever they're doing. That would have been great, but I didn't. I know. I went to school for medical instead. So I couldn't use, like, my actual patient stories. So I had to use my imagination and movies that I like Pretty Woman and Pride and Prejudice and all of those romance novels. My favorite one, Gone with the Wind. I know. Everybody loves it, long one, but I liked it. And I had to go with my imagination and just kind of whatever came to me, an idea would come, and I have a few glasses of wine, and then, Napa Valley's best, of course. Then I would an idea would come, and I'd think it over, and I'd rest on it, and then I kind of go write something that comes up, and there it is. All of a sudden, I'd have a book. So I was like, wow. So I think it's like a godly gift per se, because the imagination is something that just comes. You can't train your imagination. So
that's right, you can't.
So I say thank you for that little talent. But Emerald Eyes of the Sea, which is the first edition, which is on Amazon as well as the single therapy guide. That one took me 5 years to write.
Really?
Yes, it took me 5 years. I had to write. I had to write like chapters, like 5 chapters each every year or something, because I was doing my medical at the time, and then I was, trying to write. I was trying to go to school, and then I was trying to write. I was trying to still have a social life and then still try to write. So, life got all caught up in there. So.
No wrong with that. All right. Now, you're writing, you mix your genres up, you're creating your own style. What are some of the fans out there saying about your style? We're going to get into your reviews later once we talk about your book. But right now we want to know, are you out there, meeting your fans or communicating with them on Facebook? What's going on?
I do my best to try to stay available and reply to fans, reply to questions. I run giveaways, releases on Facebook. We're gonna do a giveaway on July 19th, and I will be hosting, so I will be there for that. I am totally open when it comes to that type of media events and stuff like that, that kind of running of the wheels. I want to be open to them. I want to answer all their questions, interact with them, because it's fun. And I'm, most of them are naughty like me, so it's great. They like erotica mixed with adventure. They like, steamy scenes with bad, mixed all in there. So I was shocked that there is a little bitty word of naughtiness out there, and I was like, yay, I found my place. So I belong somewhere. But I told when they send me messages, I reply. On my Goodreads, I try my best to reply to one question a week. I'm fairly new, so I don't know if they all know me yet. So I'm okay with that. I understand you have to gradually build. But so because I'm kind of new, I know that I don't have like thousands of fans yet, but hopefully one day. So as I go along, I kind of just keep myself available as much as I can and still do my medicine, practice my medical, and have a little bit of life on the side, but if you will. And but I am always trying to be open as much as I can. I'm always trying to get back to questions. I'm always trying to do events where they can actually interact with me. I have a Twitter page. I have an author page. I have a Facebook page. They can comment on my WordPress. There's many. I make them like many ways for people to, interact with me. I think that's important. If you're going to do writing, be available.
That's right.
Be out there. Right. Don't just be
how about some, but let me ask you this, Hazel, since you're talking a lot about being out there now, by you writing on the erotica and kind of like, romance, have you started looking at some of the festivals, book festivals that's coming to the United States on a big platform nowadays too, big platform?
I have noticed it. I do keep a little bitty eye, if you will, under my eyelashes, under what goes on in erotica and in romance, because I don't know, because I want to, if there is a festival that I can actually get to, of course I'm going to be there. And of course I'm going to post it on the Facebook page. It's going to be like wild, crazy. But if it gets bigger, which it is, I hope that I can, get to it. And it's in a certain date that I can actually attend. But I'm always looking to see what's going on in the United States, what's going on in the United Kingdom, because they're really big on that kind of industry too, a lot. So I do my best to try to do that. And Single Therapy, that book has really ruffled feathers for traditional. Really? Yes, it's ruffled some feathers for traditional writers or traditional readers. It's a raunchy book. It's a really naughty, outrageous book. And it's short, but it's very bad. It offers.
So how many pages is that book on Kindle, right? Just Kindle?
Yeah, well, on Kindle. No, it's in paperback as well.
That's a paperback.
It's about 42 pages on Kindle, and it's littered with sex tips. It's littered with suggestions of sex. All thoughts of naughtiness and erotica. But, it's for people who want a long novella, or they want like this 400-page back-to-back thriller book. They're not gonna like that because it's too short, and they want an actual story. Maybe they want like scenes and stuff. They're gonna like Emerald Eyes of the Sea better than Singles Therapy, because Singles Therapy is a humorous, sexy, erotic book that's just for naughty vixens. And
well, let me ask you this, Hazel. Now, looking at the book cover, okay, you call the book Single Therapy, Single Guy, and looking at it, it does look like a guy. It's no people on it, just some colors, earth tones. Well, why you go there?
The paperback has an actual couple on the front. The Kindle has more of like a wine bottle image on the front. Right. And I did that because I was like, okay, I know I wasn't completely sober when I wrote this. So I'm like, I know I had a little bit of Napa Valley spaz. So I said, okay, this book breaks all the rules. It's naughty. It's not an average length like it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, according to the old traditional people, 100 pages at least, or, and it's supposed to have a storyline and be filled to the rim with literature. And I was like, it's breaking all the rules now. So why not go with a wine bottle and let it be humorous, because that's what its intent was. It was a free writing book. I know there's a lot of people out there that usually are really looking to be in a relationship. There's not a lot of books out there that are cheering for being single. It's like if you're single, you have a scarlet letter on your chest somewhere. You're supposed to be linked up. You're supposed to be with someone. Well, in our ages of like 25 and up. I'm talking about people that are 25 and up. They have solid careers. They got everything going for themselves, but maybe they're still haven't found, that person that they're supposed to be with or whatever. And where are those books that are like, hey, it's cool to be single. It's okay. Don't you know that's the good thing? It's cool to be a bachelor or a bachelorette. So when I wrote that little guide, I was like, enjoy this moment. Relish your moment of your personal space. I mean, there's a couple of tips in there where it's like, relish the moment that you have free time, that you don't have a partner that's going to ask you, hey, where's our check for the bill, the mortgage? Where's our check for the light bill? Mortgage, relish that time where you can actually streak down the hall naked in your own house instead of have a baby just tug on you when you're about to go streak down the hall naked. You can't really do that if you have infants, because it's like they're crying, they want a bottle. If you're single, you can streak down the hall naked like risky business, and no one's going to bother you. You're free.
So let me ask you, so Hazel, so basically when you think about it, when you're single, you kind of living in phases, like a chapter. You figure like you talk about your adolescent years, all the way, through high school. You're basically with your parents or your guardians, and then you don't really. You're single, meaning that you are available to anybody, but you don't really have that kind of freedom yet. So when you get into college, of course you're going to learn a few things from your friends while you're in high school. Maybe you have a boyfriend or two or girlfriend or two. But when you get in college and you go away, you have your own place. That's when that's when you really start hitting another chapter of your life. And it's up to you how far you want to go with it, right?
Yeah, and, from people just, the age group, that single guide short book is for a lot of people who they're out of high school, they're working or while they're in college, or they're out of college and they're still working. But, it's for the people who like, what am I supposed to do while I'm single, instead of actually watch and hear a lot of couple songs. Valentine's Day must be like horror for single people. And this little guide is my little contribution and my antidote to, if you're single and you feel like, oh, my God, there's another couple song, there's another romance movie, Think Like a Man 2 just came out. All these single people are like, oh, my God, another one, another one haunting me about being single. So if you pick up that guide, you read it, you're like, hey, they got this all messed up. I can party really hard and have no consequences when I wake up. There's not going to be anyone waiting for me, calling me, talking about why you're not at home right now. I'm talking to the wee hours, You know how the college kids, you were in college, 4 a.m., hungover, one eye open.
But then, after a while of so much partying and music and friends, after a while you say, time to slow down, So, but, I mean, it's great that your book, is making single people feel better, even though they're not involved with another person saying they, what they say, are going steady or hit or, have that love entrance. Your book saying, okay, it's okay. We're honoring you. All right, now, let's talk a little bit about your book now. We're top of the hour. I know you've been getting into it. You've been really punching at it. You have like 6 reviews up there. I think you had one person that wasn't too happy about it. But you had 5-star, you have a couple 4-stars, and as one person said, it was very hilarious, intriguing. They said, although I am married, I enjoy reading these tips, laugh out loud. I think many of them could be played out with a spouse, role-playing. I especially love number 63 because of the reference to Victoria's Secret, which I love, but I also like number 50, which involves a man's favorite pastime, football, and something I enjoy, adult playtime. All right. So what do you say when you hear reviews like that?
It's what that is what it's supposed to be. It has absolutely no intent to be taken seriously. The singles guide is even the summary of the introduction to this guide is telling you it's based off of being, a little intoxicated when we wrote it. And so were the forefathers who created the Declaration of Independence. They didn't even drink water back then for America. They were afraid that it had pathogens in their water, so they were drunk when they wrote that. On Hennessy or brandy or whatever one their special brews. So the Singles Therapy Guide when I get those reviews, I think that's exactly what it's supposed to be. Or there's a review I got where it says, don't go to a therapist, get this book instead, something like that. It says, it's not, all it is a book for you to laugh about. And if couples read it, I'm for that too, because they were once single before they hooked up with you.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You were a single male. Yeah, you were a single male and she was a single female. And if this makes you go, hey, we haven't tried that tip yet. Let's go try that.
That's
so
right.
if they want to use it and go, hey, let's use one of these, that's even
right.
better.
Wake it up. That's right. Wake up the juices. Be creative.
That's all it is. It's just a book for, no need to be drunk, no need to be down. Have, one of my quotes is, have a glass of wine, and over time it'll all be fine.
That's right.
Just,
that.
Don't. A lot of couples, they may, there's some couples out there that are like, oh, our marriage is boring, but because they're not doing anything exciting, perhaps.
Right.
They want to spice it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, working. So I have a lot of sex tips, bad things in there that they can take a testament to that review.
Do they all work? Do all your tips work?
I don't know. I have not tried the one she's referring to, number 50. That was from one of my college friends.
Oh.
She was very interested in doing that tip, and I said, well, I'm going to throw it in the book because she may make it and be able to do that tip one day. But I hope it works, whatever tips they decide to use, and please place it with you. Let me know if it works.
Right now. That's right. They can inbox you. Now, you have somebody that said they like number 13 because it makes me feel like I am among the stars. Then what's tip 13?
Number 13 says, tip 13 says take a look out above the stars, at the stars at night. And the idea is behind the tip is relish or embrace the moment that you're among stars. So it just means if you're under a starry night sky and you look up and you see stars shining down on you, you're with stars.
That's right.
Enjoy that. Enjoy that you're under a starry night sky. There's some bad weather somewhere else across the world, and there ain't no stars. So,
That's true.
So that was just it's everything in that book is kind of like, be happy. It's not just okay. It's you actually rock. People don't want to date people that feel that they don't rock, that they have like a low self-esteem. People are attracted to people that have a high self-esteem, have confidence or assertiveness, or there's something about them, where they feel that they're happy, they're rocking. So they'll want to date you just for that alone, or at least talk to you. So it's better, especially after breakups. Singles therapy guide is good for after breakups. Once you break up, people feel really bad. And
yeah, they do.
You read one of those tips, you're like, oh, blind dates twice a week. Okay.
You do have somebody to mention that. You have, I guess, Cameron. They said this was a very pretty fast read.
Yeah.
He said it was pretty good. Basically, if you go through a breakup, I can see someone eating road ice cream and reading this to make them feel better. Some tips I may advise against only to make sure that you get arrested for lewd public acts, but that's fine. He said, I did like this book, and I would definitely recommend choosing this over therapy. A licensed therapist. Wow. So he really likes it. I guess this book made things all right. So I guess you tell him embrace his singleness, right?
Well, that was a male. I was shocked. That's a male person. I mean, I think that, and I was like, wow. Okay, males reading the book is even good because sometimes males are under pressure. I mean, they're already getting a bad rep for being players or dating multiple women. So, they get a bad rep. So this book is nowhere. This is another book for them to read. It's not targeting them in a bad way. It's actually giving them a little light. It's like, hey, you're a single guy. You're a single female. Party. you're young, or and you're young as inside too. Like you can be 50 and still read this book. You're only as young as you feel. Age is just a number, really. If you're 65 and you catch single sky therapy, you can still go street naked down your house.
That's right.
It's
okay. Right. Them guys living in those assisted living homes. Right.
I don't know if you want.
Senior living is big right now.
I don't know if you want them to do it there, but yeah. Any age group that's above the adult age can take the little guide and play with it, have fun with it, have a glass of wine to it preferably, and relax. You're already under all this stress from work and the world and all the bad news on the papers, and you hear all kind of stuff.
That's true.
Take the guide.
Yeah, let your head down.
Yeah, take your guide and relax. Yes, and
read
just
single therapy.
Yeah, or if for those writers, or readers who are determined to get a longer version, they want something with this storyline. They want some action. They want some. Well, I got some fights in my other book, but
Emerald Eyes. So you talking about Emerald Eyes? Let's talk about Emerald Eyes then.
Emerald Eyes got some hair pulling and some screaming and some cussing.
Wow.
Yeah, they really go into it a lot. Emerald Eyes, it's the first edition from the Emerald's trilogy. It's a 3 books trilogy. So it's Emerald Eyes first, Emerald Eyes of the Sea first, and then it's Emerald's Crossroads, and then it's Pathway to Emerald. But the main character of Emerald Eyes of the Sea is named Zara. She's not like me. But she's interesting because she's kind of like an introvert when she's a teen. She doesn't really like boys at first. She likes sports. She likes dolphins. She loves water. She wants to be an oceanologist. That's her thing. And she likes to go out and ride the boat with her dad. She doesn't really go with her sisters as much because they like boys and they want to go with boys, and everything they are about is about boys. They're totally against going. They don't really want to go out that much anymore on boat rides and all that. They don't really see it. They see boys. They're boy crazy. And not her. Yeah, she's totally the opposite of her 2 sisters. One's named Darina and one is named Sasha. Sasha is the youngest, but that book goes about the life of Zara and her family, and in that book there's lies, secrets, fights, marriage on the rocks.
Whoa. Everything. So you do everything but the kitchen sink.
Well, when I write, if I don't like it, I don't want to write it. I don't want to read it. I don't want to write it. It's hard
Hazel,
for me
we kind of lose your signal a little bit. Did you move? Are you moving around in the room? So the signal getting a little.
Did I move?
Crazy.
Okay, hello. I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I here now? Yeah, I moved. I'm here.
Yeah. All right, good. Now, Hazel, when you wrote Emerald Eyes of the Sea, adventure is far and near from where the eye does not see. Where were you? What kind of place were you when you wrote that book?
Well, as I said, it took about 5 years for me to write it. So I'm 32 now, and I was in between the time I was 27 and actually 20. So in there, I was writing it, and I was engaged about 2-3 times.
You were engaged 2 or 3 times?
Yes.
By the same person or 3 different guys?
No, 3 different gentlemen.
So what happened?
I don't know. Like I would find out certain things about the first engagement about a person after being engaged, and we were engaged, and I was like, oh my God, the deceitfulness. I was like, how could you be so deceitful how can I trust you if I go down the aisle with you? I mean, you're coming clean now, but you've already been deceitful. And so I was like, But then, so I broke up
he
that
was
one.
he was trying to be honest with you, but it was too much.
He was trying to be honest after, the mistrusting. It was like, it wasn't cheating. He was like, he had said, trust me. I'll be honest with you all the time. I won't lie to you. And then I'm like, okay. But then you're like, okay, I did lie. And I'm like, but you told me to trust you. I'm like, oh my God, the deceitfulness. I cannot trust you. I'm like, I can't marry someone I can't trust. You can trust me, but it's like a one-sided deal. I trust her, but she can't trust me. So I had to end that engagement. And then the second one, I thought that one was going to go good, but it was more of the in-laws were like the mother. She that was her only son, and she just refused to accept that he was going to ever be married. So,
wow, yeah, that could be
so I was thinking like, okay, marriage is mostly about children. If I have children with this person, and that's the grandmother, and she's determined to be just crazy, I was like, I can't subject children to her. So I was like,
so you were looking at the future there.
I know, like over preparation or something. And I was young, so even though that one might have worked, I just thought, oh my God, I see this personality, and that's going to be the grandmother, and I just can't do it. And I was
that's right. Now, how about now you said the third one, so you had a third marriage proposal.
The third one, oh my God, the third one, we should have been forever, but he switched up like a month before the wedding. He's like, I don't want kids. I know I told you I wanted kids, but I don't. I'm afraid of having them because I didn't have any kids. I was like, well, I'm still waiting. I was thinking I'm like obsessed with trying to wait till I get married or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I'll figure that out one day, but you can't wait. But I'm not waiting anymore. I'll tell you that, Jerry. So I'm like, hey, let's just find a guy, date him, get married, and if what happens, it happens. Great, let's love. But he changed on it, and I didn't have any children, and he didn't have any children. And it just sounded to me like he had just automatically turned selfish because he was like, I just want us to have all these nice things that we have. He was kind of wealthy. And I'm like, yeah, but that's just selfish. To me, it sounded selfish. It's like you don't want kids for any actual serious reason. You just don't want them because you don't want to share what you have with them.
That's right.
So I was like, I can't marry somebody that's selfish. Like, I just figure like.
And that is important. It's a good thing you guys got a chance to talk about that first, before you decide to, get married, and then later on he tell you he didn't want that to happen. So it was good that it came out early.
Oh, it's 30 days before the wedding. I was like,
Wow.
Oh, family was not happy about that. Family was not happy about that. They were like planning the dates, and I was like, okay. I promise that if I do have another one, it's going to go all the way, family, all the way.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah.
Now, you have a lot of experience now. You wrote that single therapy book, and then you came back with Emerald Eyes. Now, we got a few minutes left. Tell us a little bit more about, Emerald Eyes. What should people expect out of this book? Because I was looking at your reviews, and you only had 2 reviews so far. I know you just released that book. How are you promoting that book right now? You got a lot of noise over there now.
Yes, I moved just a little bit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah. So how you promoting that book right now?
We're doing giveaways. We just did a giveaway on Goodreads.com. A giveaway on July 19th on Facebook. We're doing a lot of online marketing for it.
Right. So you're doing online.
They're really pushing it online. I guess the readers now it like electronically, the Kindles. They like the ebooks. It is going to be available in Barnes and Noble, but I think that's the most that they're pushing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they plan on doing next, but whatever they do, I'm pretty sure it'll be still like pushing it for Kindle and for Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that.
Now, are you published with somebody?
Yes, it's Outskirts Press.
Outskirts Press. Okay.
Yeah, they actually are publishing my. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm just moving around everywhere. They are publishing all my trilogy, and they're publishing all my my Armor and Satin. So all my larger books, hardcover, stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, you got a lot of customer reviews, like you have somebody did review the book, and then you had some people say, we're just helping them make the decision. What do you say to new authors when they're first coming out with books for the first time, and they work for a publishing house that they're kind of assuming is going to take everything? They're going to take the editing, the proofreading, the marketing, promotion. What's a rude awakening for a newbie that you can share?
You may experience bloggers that are negative and positive. It's not going to be your dream come true at first, and you're actually going to have to be more personable. You're going to have to speak to your fans. You're going to have to talk to radio hosts. You're going to have to be out there a lot more than maybe you thought, and it will happen really, really, really fast. It's not going to be like, oh, I just published a few books, and it's okay. I got about 6 months before they actually recognize that I put out. No. Like, I put out single therapies, and I did it by myself publishing while I was waiting for a publishing company to put out Emerald Eyes of the Sea. And I just put it out there, like I said, on a whim, funny. And like maybe 2 days, 3 days later, I was like, okay, what's going on? All these people are talking to me in my books, and they want to be my friend on Facebook. And I was like, okay, that didn't take long. I thought it was supposed to take a long time. I had time before I had to actually set aside time. I thought I could just keep practicing for a while, just, ignore that I put out a book, kind of put it to the side a little bit.
Right.
No. Newbies, you can't do that. So that's going to be a wake-up call. Yeah, that's going to be a wake-up call big time.
All right. Well, we appreciate having you on Positive Power, Jerry Bush Live, Hazel, and spending time with us and sharing your adventure, your wine, your favorite wine. You mentioned that a couple of times, and you sound so relaxed that you're able to be honest with everybody when you wrote Single Therapy, so they know what to expect when they get Single Therapy. That you threw down on that bad boy. So you have and how many tips did you have in that book before I let you go?
Somewhere close to 100 of naughty ones, I believe.
Wow, that's not bad at all. That's not bad for the married guys. You need some help in the bedroom. Single Therapy, a Single Guide by Hazel Cartwright. It was just delivered by Amazon. It's a download. It's $1.25, and it can make you very happy, right, Hazel?
Well, if they like to be frisky and raunchy, yes. This will definitely meet the needs of naughtiness.
Right. Good. And we appreciate you joining us tonight and sharing Emerald Eyes. Your whole push with that, the whole, introduction of where you are right now with that book.
Thank you.
And that book is $13.44 paperback, and that's available in Kindle as well, right?
No, they're going to release that as ebook, I believe, in the fall.
Okay.
They're going to do the ebook cover release is going to be all nicer than the paperback. They're going to put a little more behind it.
All right, cool.
Put a little more muscle. But yeah, I really
right.
appreciate having this opportunity and coming on the show. And
yeah, you're welcome.
It was great. It was an honor. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Again, check out Hazel Cartwright on Amazon.com, Single Therapist, Single Guide, Emerald Eyes of the Sea, Adventures is Far and Near. You can Google her and check out some of the other interviews that was done on her. And that'll be with Authors Hazel blog, and she's on WordPress. Take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And up next, we have Marilyn Brown of Slice Book on Facebook Club. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word Hazel. And tell a friend.
Thank you.
This is Jerry Roy. You're welcome. Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us on Positive Power 21.org. I'm Jerry Voice.